What's up, bros, hoes, friends, foes? What's up, bros, hoes, friends, foes, saints and ain'ts, dots and knots, kings and queens, and everyone in between. Big Bronson Reed is dressed like Bam Bam Bigelow, and AEW had its grand slam. If at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. Cody wants KO to give Jey Uso a second chance. Thanks for even giving us a chance. It is now time to talk wrestling with the guys. This is the Three Amigos Show Podcast.
Yeah.
Without any further ado, let's introduce you to the esteemed host of the Three Amigos Podcast Show. First, as always, there's no shook hands ever, in Brooklyn. If you don't know me, you will. If it doesn't make dollars, it absolutely does not make sense at all. Right? The bottom line is always the dollar sign. I'm the intellectual savior to the masses, the brilliant, the bright, and always willing to fight. I am Brandon Thoughts.
Yeah.
You're supposed to yeah. And secondly, he got him a nice, good old Dominican cigar. It's not a Cuban because they're illegal, according to him.
They are.
Hailing
Yeah, you ain't gonna have me going up on here.
The feds be knocking on that door like, Popo gonna be knocking at the door. Nah. Anyway, hailing originally from the Lawrenceburg, Flatbush. He was once all in. He still might be double or nothing. We'll figure it out. He's the meanest on the wheels of steels, and he is also the voice of the Turnbuckle Talk and the realest on the turntable. He is a Panamanian god. He is the Mashout King.
Listen, man. The name Trevor. Woo!
And last, and certainly not least, he is hailing from the concrete jungle, Brooklyn, as well. He is standing at 6'4". He is, you know what he is, right? He is lyrical. He's a miracle. He's spiritual. They said he was criminal. He was minimal. Bar minimum aluminum bars. He is the 10-time New York State Park wrestling champion. He is Big Daddy Cool Sour Diesel.
Yeah.
Applause go.
Yeah.
There you go. There you
I'm
go.
here.
There it is.
Happy days are here. And some
so
sad
much
days.
to talk about and so
and
little
some sad
time.
days on there.
TKO, Love TKO is busting nuts and they are releasing.
They not playing. They are not playing.
WWE is, as Mashout has happily explained on our previous episodes, that when companies go through mergers, it's time to cut some ties, right? Do some budget cuts, make your money back. And if you guys missed that, I want to encourage you now to go look at those old episodes. And if we need him to rehash it, maybe he'll rehash it during the Turnbuckle Talk. So they doing WWE releases, so it's time to light it up like Mashout is doing and open up the smoking section with Big Daddy Cool Sour Diesel. Go ahead, take it away, Deez.
Yeah, man. Like I was saying, happy days are here and some sad days are near. The sad days are for those who just got released over this past days at WWE. Some talent, some were shockers, some was you can see why they was let go, but you never want nobody to lose their job. Like, I don't care who you are, what they are. Don't nobody deserve to lose their job. It's a struggle out here. Inflation is going up like a motherfucker. So best of luck to those said talents. and I'm gonna give you a list of names of people that was let go. Um, so here we have it. Mace. I mean,
Start out with Mashout's
Masir.
favorite, please.
Oh, oh yeah. And and when I got the news on this one, I had to text my brother Mashout. I had to make sure he was all right. And during that text, he was in his car. So I can only assume that he was in his car crying.
Mm.
And
Mm, mm, mm.
I mean, the irony in that, right? Um,
Mm-hmm. If
Oh,
I
Riddick,
just get
had
to
Riddick,
it. You don't
one
need no
shot.
more. Just get to it already. Oh my god. No more.
um, Madcap Moss,
That's a crying
Riddick,
shame.
Riddick Moss was one of the talents that was released, along
Exactly.
with his girlfriend Emma.
You know what? It was so
His
perfect. You said
fiance.
talent. Okay.
Beyonce, sorry.
It's so perfect that you said talent because let me tell you something. TKO wouldn't see talent even jumped up and bit them. Madcap Boss was the future WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And let me tell
Mm-hmm.
you something. Wherever
And
he's
that's in the
gonna go,
alternate universe. Go ahead.
okay, wherever he's gonna go, all right, he's gonna be the face.
Yeah, of
Okay.
Impact Wrestling. Him and Emma gonna return
I
and
mean,
be a power
I could
couple.
see him
Impact
returning
Wrestling.
back sometime. Sometime. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing him return sometime in the near future. Um, yeah, Riddick Moss, Emma, Masir, and Mansoor.
We know that was
That's Mason Mansoor. They were released. Aaliyah, Shanky, Dabakato, uh,
Oh,
Eichmann
now that they done with
Gyro,
the India event, they ain't no more Indians.
Eichmann Gyro, Quincy Elliott, Bryson Montana, Alexis Gray, Kevin Ventura Cortez, Brooklyn Barlow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know who those people are. But I'm gonna get to the shockings, the shockers when I seen these release. Uh, people like
Some people were
Elias.
shot somewhere.
well, Elias. There was really nothing happening with him, so I'm not really surprised about this. There was nothing. There was nothing.
Mm-hmm.
His character got stale.
See, here's the thing with Elias. It's not so much that his character got stale. Elias is somebody who was injured, right? And he was also, I do believe he was released before and brought back. And then he was like Ezekiel, and then I mean his brother Ezekiel, and then it was Elias. So Elias is a huge talent, and he could have been played. He was one of them people that can be placed anywhere on a roster and anywhere in the show, and would have been entertaining. I think when other characters that they have worked with, i.e., the late Bray Wyatt, the people that they were working with, also are not on the card, it kind of makes them fall by the waistline. So Elias, I was a little bit disappointed. He sold out Madison Square Garden.
I feel like once you have a character, I feel like once you have a character like that, it's just hard to get. It's hard to get away from, and it's hard to take you serious. Like I don't think no one in their career of professional wrestling who had like a music gimmick really was like
Honky
the
Tonk
top.
Man. Honky
Yeah, I
Tonk.
mean, Honky Tonk Man was cool. He was good, but
Jeff Jarrett.
for those times, for
You
those
ain't like Men on a
times, like
Mission? You didn't like Men on a Mission?
hell no,
Mo, Mabel,
hell
Uma?
no, hell no. I feel like, yeah, I mean, and especially in a time like this, when your creative was like a Vince McMahon, you know what I mean? You having a gimmick like that, it's just going to be taken as a joke. And we know Elias had the ability, he had the charisma, he had the ethic,
Let's not
and
get
they took that away from him.
let's not get crazy. Let's stop. Let's stop with the fake
Come
Who we
on,
talking
accolades.
about?
Let's stop with the fake accolades. I'm tired of it.
we're talking about Elias. Like,
I'm
come
leaning
on.
back in my chair. listening to you two ramble on about bullshit. The man, okay, the man's time was up. All right,
No,
your
nigga.
time's up. My
How
time's
you
now.
gonna sit here and cry in your car like Ray J on One Wish about Riddick fucking Moss and then get crazy on Elias? What are we watching the same programming?
Let me tell you something. Elias is more washed up than Chingy. The fact is that his
Ooh,
career
damn.
was stale. It was done. You know what? Good riddance. You know,
And when
they
he
need
get
to
over
bring
at
back
AEW and he becomes the AEW champion way
that'll
before
be a
any of your
crying
boys
shame.
over there in
That'll
AEW, you're gonna
that'll
be
be a
mad.
crying shame. Where is Carano with the black garbage bag to throw at him and tell him to get the fuck out of the building? That's what we need. Where's Carano? Okay.
He was released a few times ago. Mark
Listen.
Carano was released a long
We need him
time ago.
we need him with the black garbage bag. Good riddance.
Well, most of these releases, it don't seem as bad as how the other releases were. You know what I mean? These releases seems kind of on point and understandable, right?
Yeah.
Like they wasn't just firing people to fire people. These ones is like, okay, we're not really doing nothing with you. And some of these people that are released were people that wanted to be released. You understand what I'm saying? So
Exactly. And I know you're about to get to your boy.
like my guy Ali.
Exactly.
That was a shocker. That was a crush because Ali has a program
You
going.
were not shocked. You were shocked.
The man been asking for his release for years.
I
For 3
wasn't
years.
shocked. Listen, because he had something going right now. He had a going. He had a program working right now. But also too, people was always saying like he didn't look like he wanted to be there. He was just a person that was just doing his job
He
and
was
not
going through
commending
the
on that.
motion. Yes. The man wanted a release. He was probably jumping for joy.
That was crazy.
The man wanted his release. I don't understand where was the sadness in this? The man been asking for it. The man went on social media and asked for his release. Come on now. Like it was you know what? They did him a favor. He's out. They didn't want to release him out of his contract. They put him down at NXT, and then guess what? He's out. The problem with Ali is Ali has no character. Ali's an incredible talent. I will give him that. He's a great wrestler.
Yes.
And not take that away from him. But he does not have the charisma on the microphone. And frankly, if you can't do it well on that microphone, there's nothing for you. Okay? Unless you have a mouthpiece and a manager, that's willing to you're not going to cut it. Nobody, they're not going to fuck with you. That's just what it is. It's over. You know what I mean? I feel bad for him.
What's AEW that with a white?
He's going right to AEW. He's going to be the
AEW
international
the team over
champion.
They have a tag team. They look like
he's definitely going to be the international champion.
Yeah, he's going to
be that.
He's going to get in a long rivalry with Orange Cassidy. All right, I'm looking forward to it. Who else was released?
Dolph Ziggler. That one was crazy. Listen, you know how many releases that boy survived? That man survived like all the releases. And to see him get this one was crazy. I said to myself, like, damn, this is crazy. Yeah, this was crazy. But then after when you read about like why some of these people were released, like, listen, they're not being used on TV, and it wasn't even just not them being used on TV. It was more so of them saying like people that's on the main roster that's getting main roster money but not being used. We gotta let them go. We're like, what is the sense of me paying you all this money and you're not being used? And if you don't have no use for them in the future, let them go.
Let's take a deep dive real quick into Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler, technically in WWE standards, has accomplished everything. Okay, he's accomplished everything. I think he's the Grand Slam champion, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he is.
So
Two-time WWE champion, 6-time Intercontinental champion, 2 times United States champion, 6 times tag team champion, 1-time NXT champion,
so
Money
then,
in the Bank winner.
my question is, okay,
Hey,
so
you know what? Go
where
fuck yourself, B.
where did they go wrong with Dolph Ziggler?
They try
Where
to
did
make
they
him
go
the
wrong?
they try to make him the next Shawn
When
Michaels.
he started,
When he was trying to be the new Shawn Michaels, that's where like it fucked up. It
But
fucked up right there.
when he
but
left the Spirit Squad,
shut up, B.
when he
That's not
started wearing
nice.
those stupid ass extensions, and he fucked up. I mean, he's been there a long time. He survived a lot of eliminations on the Survivor Island. Him and Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke's career, she's been there longer than Hulkamania. Um, I wish them all the best. She has been there longer than Hulkamania. So we wish them all the best. Dolph Ziggler, Ali, Dana Brooke, Aaliyah, Shanky, and all of them.
Shelton
AEW.
Shelton Benjamin.
So wait. I just want to end on this note with when it comes back to Dolph.
Oh,
Okay, I just want to end on this note. I'm not a Dolph Ziggler fan, so let me start off by that. I am not a Dolph Ziggler fan. I'm not. But
Oh, we're still talking about him. Okay. Mm-hmm.
yeah, I just want to end on this note because you know why? Because to me,
he's about to be great somewhere else.
I didn't see this coming. I did not see this coming. However, Dolph at one point as well asked for his release. Okay. He also at one point asked for his release. And remember, Dolph was trying to go into a career in comedy.
A comedy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So he could go do that now. The Laugh Out Loud tour he can with and get out there and do that. I'll be looking forward to that. That would be good. But what I will say about Dolph Ziggler is he was a dependable guy. He was somebody that you can put him on a live event. You can put him, on a pay-per-view opening up. You can put him anywhere. He reminds me sort of like a Chris Jericho. They can be put anywhere in a card and they'll be entertaining. He was good in the ring, no attention when he talks, but I'm pretty sure he was good on the microphone. I loved it. He had one of the most famous Money in the Bank cash-ins ever over in Jersey. So he did have a good career. Now, I do think, even though these people were released, that there will be people who will be able to Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre it. You know what I mean?
I think there's also going to be people on that list that might not even sustain the time. They might just come right back. I think,
They I'm sorry, but they're saying that some of these they might re-sign some of these people again. Like
right,
some people they might even re-sign again. Like right now, like you know what? I'm sorry. I'm let me re-sign you again. It's probably like the
I think
new
all
contract.
the people who had nice things to say will get re-signed.
I mean, they offered Dolph a producer role.
Yeah, he turned it down.
And he turned it down. I mean, it's like I could see Dolph being a producer or maybe a coach. Even Shelton Benjamin.
I could see that as well.
I could see him being
I
a
thought
coach.
that's what he basically was. I thought
And you know what's crazy? Like how they gonna let Rick Boogs go?
Yeah,
How they gonna let Rick
that's
Boogs
what
go?
I feel like
And
he was more.
he's right now.
I felt like
Okay.
they recently.
Something going on with the feed, bro.
Yeah, something going on with your feet. It's freezing.
Yeah, that's because we took long to fucking record. But
Oh, excuse me. I mean, why you always gotta be random thought no matter what?
He left. He's gonna come back in.
He always gotta be random fucking thought, man. Yeah. But what were you saying? I'm sorry.
Damn it. I was like, yeah, it's crazy that they were releasing Rick Boogs and he's in the goddamn commercial right now with Bianca.
With Cricket Wireless.
Yeah, this is crazy. It's
You know,
crazy. And he released a statement earlier on saying that he's gonna discuss, like, he's gonna go into further details on, like, why he was released, because he's feel like this like more like some political power type shit going on. You
I thought
know.
he was getting. I thought honestly, all jokes aside, I thought he was going to get a push. I didn't think that he was going to be up on the chopping block.
Nah, you can see that he was gonna be the next clown thing for them. He was gonna be the next clown. Like what can he have done? Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I was very surprised about it. And also like we were saying about the Dolph Ziggler, definitely was a little bit of surprise because as you and Brandon just said, you know, you guys that guy has survived a lot
Shit ton.
of releases. He's been surviving releases since 2006 when he came in the company. So I mean, he's been going through a lot of the survivals of that. So I give him my hat goes off to him, and I know he's going to probably end up in AEW, and they'll use him. They'll actually use him.
And if you look at it, he's actually like one of those guys that's like collecting the check, collecting all that money for doing nothing.
True, true, true. Because he was like, but he showed up to TV. He always showed up to TV. So I guess he was ready to see whatever he was getting ready to do. But then they just had him, move to become a jobber. And he was losing, to Austin Theory and stuff like that. And I thought that he
Yeah.
actually was going to have a good rivalry with him. And then it just fizzled out.
Right. And then he was supposed to have that rivalry with Ali. And then I thought something was gonna happen between him and JD McDonough. But nothing is happening. Nothing's
Yeah,
going on.
nothing happened with that.
And I thought probably like now that Seth is the heavyweight champion for Raw, you would at least think that Dolph Ziggler will probably be somewhere in the line of you know going against Seth somewhere down the line.
Exactly. I think that would have made perfect sense. I think that there was more than enough avenues to go down with Dolph. So I don't. There has to be something in the back politically that was going on that caused him to be a part of the releases because I just can't understand that didn't even make any sense. It made total no sense whatsoever.
I think it was just more so like what, over the years, if you requested, like, if you complain that you wanted to leave and that didn't happen for you, or if we really ain't got no plans for you, we just want to let you go. So
I agree with that.
I think that's what it was. And Dolph, like, you've been skating by for a lot. Like, every time a release came, you showed up, you still did your matches or whatever. But then after a while, it's just like it's nothing more that Dolph Ziggler can do in WWE. I don't think. You
He's
know,
done it all. Like we said earlier, he's done it all. I mean, there's nothing else left for him at this point.
yeah, the guy had close to like damn near like 2,000 matches.
Yeah.
So
No,
you know,
he has had 2,000 matches.
you
All right.
know, and all the his fellow wrestlers gave him his flowers. So
All right. What else?
he
Who
was
else is
proper.
on the list?
Oh, I mean the biggest shocker, but it shouldn't come to no shock that that Top Dollar.
Listen, I was ready. I was waiting for that one. I was waiting for him to go. I was waiting for it.
Top Dollar, and that's what I'm saying. I think this round of releases was I like you got the game right, so you wait for the DLC pack. This is the best DLC pack that has been in a long while. Because like this is the best let go release list because most of these people do not need to be on here, and a person
Oh,
like fucking um Top Dollar, yeah, he had to go.
he had to go. There was nothing to do for him. I mean, he wasn't even entertained no more.
Yeah, and I feel like he was more entertaining when they had Swerve.
Yeah.
They don't got Swerve no more, so it's like now the eyes is on you, and then now you had the eyes on you when you jumped over the rope and damn near broke your head off. So it's like,
It made no sense whatsoever. I mean, that guy, oh man, like even like I saw his tweet. He put that there's no more hit rolls officially done, and I'm just like, no shit, Sherlock. Like
right.
there was nothing else left of hit roll.
And he was trying to say that they were scared of giving him the mic. Well, now the other two can, properly shine. It's clear to see that you were like sort of the problem, and maybe you should have been like the manager. Like
Yeah.
he should have been a manager.
He got really stale. He reminded me of a black Brodus Clay. Like it just got really stale.
Right. And I mean, the first time they came back it was good to see. Then like after that, it was like, oh, okay, this is a failed thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next, oh my gosh, the biggest shocker of them all, but shouldn't be a shocker. Matt Riddle.
Listen. Well, first of all, I'm still confused on was Matt Riddle sexually assaulted by the TSA at Kennedy Airport? Like I don't. I'm very confused on what's happening here. I'm extremely confused.
Hell no. You know what that sound like? That sound like to me a person who know they did some shit, but they try to get the lie out there quicker than the truth. You know what I mean? It's like when you got in trouble in school and you try to come home and tell your moms, like, yeah, mom, I got into a fight today. Yeah, because he said something bad about you. You be like, oh, okay, all right, cool. Then the teacher call, like, yeah, Miss Green, here's what happened, and then she give you the whole scoop, and now you like, this motherfucker, you ain't tell me the rest of that. Nigga, yeah, Matt Riddle was a lying ass son of a bitch. Like,
like
he was high. He was high. He was drunk. He tried to get it out there quick and try to lie and say, "Oh yeah, my privacy has been violated. They violated me. They violated my body."
But then the funny part though, D, was when the cops asked him to actually say his story, right? He didn't want to do it. He did not want to do it. He was at Kennedy the whole time. The cop said, "Okay, what happened?" "Oh, I'm good. I'm not gonna do this." Like, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? Make that make sense, And then that was all strategically. That was all done strategically.
Listen,
Matt Riddle is a fuck boy. You understand?
All I know is that this confirms to me that Matt Riddle was that guy that Velveteen Dream was talking about in that story, who was doing coke.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Bro.
Listen.
You understand? And speaking of Matt Riddle and more Matt Riddle news, Mason Mansour, they was since they've been released, so they was letting go all of the news and details of things that happened backstage. And one of the details was that Matt Riddle is actually a badass.
Yeah,
he's a badass.
I've been saying that on this show for a while
because
with all they has.
They said he smacked the shit out of Gunther, and Gunther ain't doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what?
He said, "Hey, come here, bro.
Like, Matt Riddle, you know what I mean?
Smack the shit out of you. Come
here."
Remember,
listen,
is actually a UFC fighter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's a badass.
It wasn't nice that you both just called him a fuck boy like that. That wasn't nice. Like, y'all really.
What he gonna do?
Listen. I don't know about y'all, but Matt Riddle, come on over, man. Come on over to the side, man. You down with me, man. You're all right with me. I don't care if you do coke. Allegedly.
So you should have been Tony Khan then.
Let me tell you something.
Tony Khan is different.
Listen, the man failed the drug test more times than Todd Bridges. So the fact is that, like, at this point, I don't think that he needs to get himself clean. Okay, he needs to get himself clean. That's what he needs to do.
And this is different. This ain't that.
He's still alive or dead. You know, from
This ain't the ruthless. This ain't the ruthless aggression era. You know what I mean?
Not. It's
You're not gonna be the.
This
You're not gonna be the Randy Orton.
Jack.
And it's not also, you know what I'm saying, the golden era, you know, the 1980s where it was okay to do coke. As a matter of fact, it was encouraged. Okay,
right. By Hulk Hogan.
Yes.
Because Hulk Hogan would have sniffed up an Adam Cole. You know what I mean?
Think about that. Hulk Hogan, you know, are we giving him congratulations? He just got married.
Fuck him. We don't care about him being married.
All right.
Fuck your marriage, Hulk. Listen, man. Listen, let me tell you something. I've been stopped being a Hulk Hogan fan when I found out he wasn't black. He lied to me. I used to think he was black. Him and Macho Man. But Macho Man still get a pass for me. You know what I mean? Because he ain't.
You know, Hulk Hogan is the real low life, and I really like, you know, it's so funny because the only person that doesn't think Hulk Hogan's a low life is Hulk Hogan. That is the only person that doesn't think he's a low life.
Now I see why. Now I see why when we used to as kids when some people played as Hulk Hogan and you used to hit them and you'd be like, yo, I just did a move to you. You're supposed to go down. Like, what are you doing?
They wouldn't sell.
They wouldn't sell. I was like, oh wow, it all makes sense now.
Because Hulk Hogan didn't get hurt.
Son of a bitch.
First of all, I he had so much damn surgeries because he never wrestled. You know what I mean? Like I don't understand why he had so much
to do this on coke. I'm sure
that was on them drunk falling downs. You know, them high falling downs.
You know, I get it. You know, on the you know, on the leg drop. You know, you're hitting your vertebrae every single time you're doing that. But come on now, like. You know, I think Hulk Hogan just wanted the surgeries. I don't think he actually needed them because he did absolutely.
You know something? Hulk Hogan, you just made the list. Hulk Hogan.
Good old Terry Bollea.
Got him right down.
And you know what? And Terry Bollea is actually my brethren because he's Panamanian as well. You know, I hate to admit that.
I still don't believe that.
Yeah, he said his mother is Panamanian.
Who said that?
Hulk Hogan.
He probably meant to say
Hulkster.
The Hulkster, yeah.
So he is black.
I don't believe him, brother.
Look at that, D. He's black. Look at that. So you could be a fan.
I don't believe him. So he's trying to sneak. He just trying to say, listen, I got Panamanian in me, so I can say the word nigger.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That was what it is.
My mother's Panamanian, so I can say it.
And it's also Hispanic heritage month, so he just wanted to be down. That's why they got married.
Like, come on, Hulk. Like,
I thought that's why they gave the belt to that nigga that beat Moxley when Moxley got hurt, but that's down.
Oh yeah. I don't even know how that even happened.
It's Hispanic Heritage Month. That's why. You know how they used to do us during Black History over at the E.
I don't know nothing about what you're talking about, brother.
I do. You don't remember that?
I love that word.
Only give us the belts then.
Brother. With the hard R.
Listen to me, brother. Listen to me, brother. I don't know what you're talking about.
With the hard R, brother.
This is how they were talking to each other in the 80s. Hand.
Yes.
Hand on the hip.
In point.
Like what? Like why was that the thing of the 80s? Like what was
he was
that
asserting
about?
himself. He was
With the hand on the hip and it's like this. Like doesn't matter. Even Uncle Sam did it. Like
that was more white people, but that's not the show,
let me tell you something, brothers.
I think the only person black I saw do that was probably Uncle Phil and Carl Winslow.
Yeah, more than likely.
Come on, man. Have you seen them old school black exploitation films? They was doing it too. They had a hand on the hip and the pointer too. Come on, everybody had
the 80s. That was the 70s.
Okay, all right. Well, you got me, Gil.
What else you got for the smoking section?
Whoa,
just dead air. People are listening.
It's not dead air. It's not dead air. We're trying to get back in the flow of things. when you came around, when you came back around. Now, the next thing I have in the smoking section is I don't have nothing else in the smoking section,
Oh,
motherfucker.
okay. That's fair
Uh,
enough.
I just want to talk about those releases, the releases and the polices. Uh, and oh yeah, man, what you think about what y'all think about Grand Slam?
I enjoyed Rampage more than I for the first time in a while.
I didn't catch Rampage.
It was 2 hours. I enjoyed Rampage a little bit more than I enjoyed Grand Slam. I enjoyed the main event was a good match, the MJF and Samoa
Uh,
Joe. That was
yeah,
a
that
good
was
that
a
was a
good
good
match.
match. Did Adam Cole hurt himself jumping off of the thing, or he was hurt already?
Um, I'm not too sure.
Because
I'm
I
not
was
too
like,
sure.
I
I didn't
saw
see, I
him
didn't get to see
limping,
that
and I
part.
was like, what the fuck? When did he get hurt? When did
But
Adam Cole get hurt?
I think Samoa Joe had did something to me, involved him in the match. So he you know.
Because he no, because he was limping as soon as he jumped. I think he hurt himself jumping off of the stage at Grand Slam, and then he was like selling it for a while, and then all of a sudden, he like at the end, he was limping, and I was like, why the fuck is Adam Cole limping? He didn't even get in the match. So I don't know.
You know, one thing I do like about AEW MJF per se is like when he says how he's gonna win his matches.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm just gonna beat you with a headlock takeover.
Mm-hmm. And
Or
then he does it.
we're gonna beat you with a double arm clothesline. I'm a I'm gonna catch you with a kangaroo kick, and it
I like the
always happens.
whole.
And it
I
always
like the
happens. Like I like
whole.
how
What
he
that
did
shit
with
he did.
like how he did with the Samoa Joe. Like I'm gonna beat you by choking you out, and it happened. So I like some parts of it. I actually like the story of it all too. Like what happened to him several years back in the backstage at NXT, being pushed by Samoa Joe, and I like how MJF always like he always holds a grudge towards something of his past, remembers it, holds it, and he's like the true definition of like, yo, um, I'm gonna meet my idol when I grow up, and I'm gonna spit in their face, like you know what I mean, like I'm a I'm a shit on them or I'm gonna do whatever,
And he's
He
always in character.
yeah.
always.
Always in
He
character.
he did well with the whole remake of the Brett 1995-94
Yeah,
promotion before he came out. That was pretty fucking dope. And gonna
Dad,
whisper
I'm
in the kid's
adopted.
ear, you're adopted.
Yo, that was hilarious. That was hilarious.
That was
Yeah,
hilarious.
so. Just you see, you know why I know. You see, I knew I liked MJF for a reason. I know it. He was that type of person. I knew I was gonna like him. Wasn't gonna like him again. But then he came back around and made me like him again.
And you know what? I like this tweener thing that he's doing. That that he's kind of make you like him. As a
Yeah.
face, kind of. Um, but here's the part that I didn't understand with the whole rivalry with Samoa Joe is who was supposed to be the true heel in that scenario.
Samoa Joe, for sure. Because
But
Yeah.
then
Samoa Joe started it by pushing him back in WWE.
right, but at the same token, MJF is a heel.
No, he's not. He is
He's the baby
anti-hero.
face now.
Yeah,
He's
he's
the
a face.
anti-hero.
He's going anti-hero going into babyface. I told you that. That's what the whole purpose of the Adam Cole thing is. The Adam Cole storyline was to turn him into kind of this new version of how we see faces, which is
If
a
you really,
douchebag like MJF, because he's still a douchebag.
He
if
is.
you really think about it, all his rivalries was he was an anti-hero of them all. You know what I mean? Because like we rooted for the other side, but then he made you see why. Like yo, the other side is just as bad. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? And the other side created me to be who I am. This is why I'm this way.
It's the
So
other person's reason.
we're
Yeah.
we're we're a month out from CM Punk being terminated from the company. Now, do you think that AEW can now, without him being there, can actually survive in terms of moving forward? without him being the face of the company.
Yeah. Tony said it's about to be a new era of AEW.
Yeah.
I want to see what this. I want to see what this new era of AEW looks like. I want to see what the revamp is going to be, and I think they can. If he could finally just focus on the talent that he has there already, he can get it going. And the talent that just been released from WWE, he can get it going. Fuck it. They
But then,
did. You know the saying is, oh, you always saying WWE guys. Fuck it, do it. If
but
it's
then,
gonna make your company great, do it.
but
I
then,
don't
if
know
he
what fucking show we're on. I think we're in another universe. And I just, because if you go back to season 1, you go back to part of season 2, this is the time you guys now to go back and listen to them. These people that sharing these remarks, my co-host, totally said the completely opposite thing. But you know what? It's a new day.
oh,
It's a
brother.
new dawn. It's a new
Okay,
light.
brother.
And everyone is feeling good.
Okay, I
Now
seen you watch
everybody
the
likes
commercial.
MJF on this show. That's cool.
Well,
Everybody is,
No, because we need now. I'm expecting now.
now that they don't release Ali, now we're looking forward to what
I'm
AEW is
expecting.
doing.
I'm expecting good. I'm expecting good competition, and I'm
Agreed.
expecting pure professionalism. So if Tony Khan goes and sign these people, he's gonna have professionals. You're gonna have Ali. You're gonna have Shelton Benjamin.
He didn't
You're
have
gonna have
professionals in
Dolph.
Chris Jericho. He didn't have professionals in
I
Mark
mean, he
Henry.
did, but in between there, it lost its way. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
you have the new talent, like your Jack Perrys, your Hangman Pages. They talking about they don't want to listen to the elders of wrestling. Like, who the fuck are you? And I could see where CM Punk is coming from, but at the same time, I'm not gonna be doing all that to lose my damn job.
well, so okay, so if he signs these people, right? Let's be real talk. If he
Who is he
signs,
signing? Who? It's not all of them. Who?
we don't we
That's what
don't we
matters.
don't know.
we don't know. We don't know. I think
I mean, we could get a good.
I don't think because he already has a Jeff Hardy, I don't see him really signing Riddle, but uh because the drug quota has already been reached. So I don't know if he wants 2 on the roster.
They might need a
But
new
Right.
supplier. It's a new
true.
generation.
But what I'm ultimately asking is, okay, so let's say he signs 6 people. Let's just say 6.
Mhm.
All right. He still has a pretty hefty roster. Is Tony Khan going to release other people? That's where I'm going with this. Because you bring in 6, you have he still has I think he has a bigger roster than the WWE, to be
And
honest
I
with you.
think Jungle Boy is one of them. Yep. I'm shaking my head. Yes. Yep. And
I
I
mean,
think Jungle.
I mean, some
Mm-hmm.
of them talents going to be released, or they're going to want
Mm-hmm.
to be let go because you're doing you're doing what you always do. You're making the WWE guys some bodies, and this is why AEW guys come to WWE, because WWE is going to put you in that developmental system. They're going to make you work. They're going to work you up, and we're going to create you. We're going to create you to be somebody. So when you leave us, people like AEW is going to want you for their company. You know what I mean? So when these people leave AEW, WWE looking at them like, yo, we got them. We could do something for them.
But then
Package them up, do them real good.
so okay, so you're admitting that they will release people.
Of course they
Yes.
will.
We said yes. Mm-hmm.
They're gonna first of all, they're gonna need a person like Dolph Ziggler in
Yep.
AEW.
Agreed.
They're gonna need Dolph Ziggler in AEW.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
He's
I
gonna
felt
be
like
he's
I
gonna be
hope
the
in
he's
there
gonna be the
since the
new
beginning of the
workhorse.
company.
He's gonna be like you know what I mean. We could see him and Dane Bryan toss it up again before Bryan have his last run, his last year in AEW.
Well, this is his last year, according to him.
And I mean, and come on, his Dolph Ziggler brother manifested it by him putting up pictures of him and Dolph holding AEW tag titles. And wasn't he just somewhere on Being the Elite? Dolph Ziggler. He was on the last episode. So
I mean, I think it'd be good when Tony Khan books, the Hardy Boys versus Dolph and his brother versus Mo and Joe Buck versus all of the brothers in AEW, and it'd be like this Teddy Long tag team turmoil match. Like that's gonna be match of the night. I know y'all looking forward to that.
And then remember there was that talks of Edge. Like, I mean, it would have been released. Like Edge probably still didn't sign his new deal. They're probably still in negotiations. So like Mashout said last weekend on why some of these talents got to be released. They got to recoup their money, and by recouping their money, they get to go in. They get to make new deals, give out new deals, new contracts,
Right.
sign new talents. So you know what I mean. So the salary's about to, you know what I mean. So the salary's about to be open. So all these people we just released, they probably just made probably like $15 million on all of them motherfuckers or whatever.
No,
You know what
I
I mean?
agree. I totally agree with the releases. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I said, there was nobody on the release. I was like, damn.
I felt like they skipped two people, but that's okay.
No,
And
no,
then I want to say,
But I don't want to wish nobody losing their job, so that's why I'm
yeah, because people was out there
just saying that these two, if you were running the E, you would have released them. Who would they be?
I don't want nobody losing their jobs.
Nobody gonna lose their job. Nobody gonna lose.
We don't know. These things
nobody
going
gonna lose
on.
their
People,
job.
we turn tomorrow morning before Raw. It'd be,
Nobody's losing their job. Brandon thoughts. Go ahead. Who are you gonna say?
they already released the people I would have.
You said who?
Kevin Patrick.
Kevin Patrick. I agree.
Is one. And shit. Liv Morgan.
You hate this woman.
You know what? And
woman. Oh my god.
I'm glad to see. I'm glad to see that none of the re-signs was in that
Listen.
was in that batch.
Listen. Do you know? I thought the first person he was going to say was Liv Morgan. I thought the first person Brandon thought was going to say was Liv Morgan. I felt it coming. You cannot stand this woman. This woman make your skin crawl. Okay.
She does not. I think she's a beautiful woman. I think that she has allegedly a love for wrestling. I don't know if that's kayfabe and they just make it like she's always loved wrestling. She has a love for this business. I just think that she's injury prone, and I don't think that she is. She's a Becky Lynch at best.
Okay.
And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Now, what I would want Tony Khan to do is a lot of those women that was released is sign some of them women and have them come over to AEW because you're gonna need people for Monet to head of the fight and Dr. Britt Baker to build her back up for people to care about her and maybe a returning what was her name? The thick girl from the London. She was with Dr. Britt. What's Shorty name?
Jamie Hayter.
Jamie Hayter. There we go. Jamie Hayter returns. Get people for Chris Statlander. They're now building up. What's this girl? Sky Blue? Blue Skies? Sunny Skies? Sunny Days? Whatever. They need
Others don't say Sunny Kiss.
No, Dana Brooke, she could go over there and wrestle and toss it up with them.
Dana Brooke is gonna go to Impact. She's made for Impact.
Absolutely.
AEW gotta step their women shit up, just like WWE do, and they gotta set their women roster up, and not just the roster. They gotta do something with them creatively. Like everybody can't have a title, so you can make them beef and do something else. Make it something unique.
One of the most interesting storylines with the women in WWE that's maybe it's belt related, but it's not belt related, is the joining of Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler.
Right.
That's dope.
That's very good because when they do get together, they're gonna fucking wreak havoc. Returning, what's that girl name? Ronda Rousey come back. It won't.
It's gonna be what Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler was supposed to be.
right, because now these two
And it's
actually can entertain and they can actually wrestle, and like
right.
Ronda Rousey can wrestle, but I mean do it WWE style
Right.
and
Yeah.
really
Right.
like
I agree with
bring
that.
importance to the women's tag team title. So I that's the only storyline that I think with the. Oh no, I also love Bailey and Shotzi.
Yeah. They need to
Yeah, I
start
like
angling
that.
more. They gotta
Mm-hmm.
start angling more focus and shit like that. Like
Mm-hmm.
we already know, we know who the women's champions is. We know that already. That's cool. That's good. We
But
know.
but
Mhm.
the Oscar fucking Io Sky match on SmackDown was heat.
It was good. It was really
That
good.
was heat.
It was
I
really
was
good.
looking at it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm looking at it right now, a little bit right now.
Oh, that
That match
shit.
already passed. So I gotta come back and watch it.
That
But
shit
it
was
looked
heat. And
like
I was watching that shit like, okay. I said, all right. The AEW the Friday before had the Jade Chris Statlander. That
Mm-hmm.
was heat. And then now this week, WWE did it with Oscar. And I was like, they didn't even first of all, I was surprised Charlotte came out because I was like, yo, they released Riddle, right? So we ain't gonna see Charlotte.
You
But
a fool. You was a damn fool.
when
Oh my God.
Charlotte came out, I was like, she didn't even need to come out because the story between Io Sky and Oscar is good enough. And the fact that Michael Cole built it up like, yo, Io Sky got to get this win. They've been talking about her title reign, and I'm like, Michael Cole, she just won the belt at SummerSlam. How the fuck they been talking about her title reign?
nah.
She just got the fucking belt.
Some people sketchy on her. And I seen people popping shit,
Yeah.
especially on like the group chat. I mean the wrestling group I'm in. People's like trying to talk about. I'm like, Nick, y'all, did y'all see her as the NXT Women's Champion? Y'all bugging out. Like, EO is
It's because
fucking
she's not big. It's because she doesn't, even though she has her own version of it, she's not exuding sex
Right.
appeal on any level. And
is to
because of
me.
that, I get it. See, it is to you. See, but
Mm-hmm.
they
Her
are
whole
missing Liv
entrance is
Morgan.
fucking sexy. I love when she come out. She come out. She do this. She do.
Then she looks seductively
Hold
as if
on.
it's an
Let me
anime.
do it. Let me
Go
do it.
ahead. I'm narrating as you're doing it. Give it up for the EO Black Sky.
I love when she do that. I love EO. I always love EO since.
Before we forget, let's
Never
be
talk about my EO.
big happy birthday shout out to Stephanie McMahon.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Right.
Happy birthday, Steph. We miss you in the
She
back.
needs to she needs to come back in and run the women's department. Because
Yeah.
I wanna see I wanna see the women's evolution um premium live event once more again.
No.
I wanna see something meaningful for these women talents. I still wanna see a secondary a thirdary singles belt
Third.
for the women. I want to
Oh, you
see
want
it.
to see like a mid card,
Yeah, I want to see a mid card title for the women. They
but it's
need
hard for
that.
them to do that because they're already starting to make the women mid card. So now you're going to add a mid card to the mid card.
I mean, all right.
There's certain few
You
women
have the
that
mid
matter.
card. You have the mid card. You have the mid card, and they're not doing nothing. Like, but just like I just said earlier, not everything
A
needs to be
belt. No,
about a title. Don't need to be about
right.
a belt. But
Right.
it gotta be something still to it to this day. They have so many women, and then you got to think about the women they're going to be bringing up from NXT. You know what I mean? Like it's just a lot. Unless they want to make the NXT title
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
the
That I see. And I see them doing that while Becky has it. That would be smart to do it right now while Becky has it. Because then that makes her the first women's intercontinental champion. That's not the name, but
Right.
yeah, I
the
can see
first
that
women's
they can make the
intercontinental
NXT
champion.
the mid card title or something like that.
Yeah,
I can see that happen. That would be dope.
that would be that. Go ahead.
That
Okay.
would be dope.
Anything else for the smoking section? What else you got?
That's it, because that was his last one before that.
Oh,
He said that.
Like we just shooting the breeze, ladies and
Yeah,
ladies and
now we
gentlemen,
about to chop it up and talk.
ladies and gentlemen, viewers out there. You know, if you like what you see, give us the feedback. We shooting the breeze. We doing this for y'all, man, because we love y'all. We are. It's either you're an AEW fan, a WWE fan, or you a wrestling fan.
you damn right.
Yeah, I'm the wrestling fan. I don't know what the fuck these other niggas are.
I'm the wrestling fan / WWE fan.
I'm a
That's me.
wrestling fan. I watch it. I like all of them. So now let's start to chop it up and turn it over to the master of the turntables. Right now, we about to turn it up with the Turnbuckle Talk with the Mashout.
So okay. All right. So in the last week or so, obviously we had all the releases and but because the releases happened, a lot of other things happened also during that time as well. The first thing I want to talk about with the releases is number one, it was a shock for everybody, right? Who was released. We knew the releases were coming. But also in the same week, we had something monumental happen, which was NBC Universal closed the deal, and now SmackDown is moving back to the USA Network. Now, I like it. I like it because here's the thing: I'm not a Fox watching person. I only really watch Fox for WWE because I was a Fox watching person in the 90s, right? Where you had Martin, the single, Living Color, things of that nature. And then after when they made their money on the Black
TV,
they went Caucasian, after that. So
as
I
all
never
the
really,
stations do.
yes. So I never really was a fan of the Fox network. My thing is that with SmackDown going back to the USA Network, is it good for the WWE? That's the question. Is that good for the?
That's a good question.
Fellas, do you believe that's good for the WWE?
Who want to handle it first? You, D?
How is it bad?
Well, I don't know. I'll go first.
I see it as a good thing. The money, that's a good thing. I would have preferred it all being on one station where you can go, because I hate the fact that you got to go here on Friday. I got to go on Channel 5 on Friday. Then I got to go on channel wherever USA is on Monday, Tuesday. I prefer it to be all on one umbrella. I see you back here on Monday. I see you back here Tuesday. And I see you here Wednesday, Friday, wherever the case may be. I don't see it being a bad thing. What's wrong with that?
Here's the thing: when USA or Sci-Fi owned, was SmackDown was on there like the same channels that was under the same companies, whatever the case may be. It seemed like the writing at the time and the creative was a little complacent and a little bit lazy. Right now, we have new owners. We're going into a new era. We have a new person who's at the helms of the creative era. It might be a little bit better. I enjoyed that Fox, when it was time for the draft, it really gave a sports element and feel to it because Fox was vying for certain people like Roman Reigns, and that's why they were on SmackDown. Right. With it both being under Universal, I kind of sort of feel like, they'll be able to, okay, whatever story we couldn't tell on Monday, we're going to try to squeeze in on Tuesday or whatever day, if it's a Tuesday, because he didn't announce that yet, but or whatever day that SmackDown is going to possibly come on, let's try to get it on SmackDown, or what we can't do on SmackDown, we'll try to put it in on Raw. I just think sometimes it gets a little complacent, but other than that, I knew it would go under a Universal company, which is who owns USA, because they have the Peacock deal. It only makes sense for them to be able to create original content for under the deal. Yeah, so
I think it's six in one hand, half a dozen another. as much as yes, that's an old school line.
What the fuck?
I think it's good for the WWE and NBC Universal. I just think that maybe if it wasn't Fox, another brand having the show, you get to see a different kind of feel uh,
Mm-hmm.
to the show because Fox, as bad as they are, made the show feel more sportsy. I don't know how
Yes,
else
yes. The
to
camera
really
work, and
state it.
yes, I
They made
agree.
it feel more sportsy,
I
and
agree.
I think that was the biggest difference between the two shows. However, I do agree with what you were saying with if a storyline doesn't finish on Monday, we can move it on to the next night, to see how it plays out and what have you. And especially I think it's good for the WWE because they don't have to now answer to two different people, right? Because
Right.
Fox has their own needs, NBC Universal has their own needs, so they don't have to answer to two different entities in terms of what we want on our program because
Mm-hmm.
that's a big problem when it comes to writing television, right? Because especially if it's one company, you have to write for NBC, but you have to write for Fox too. And
Mm.
it also gives you the ability to move the champions around because
Right.
Fox
Mm-hmm.
by Fox definitely wanted Roman Reigns,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that in the next draft we may see a switch
Yes.
between the shows, and I think that it will give it some type of variety. It'll give it a
Mm-hmm.
nice shakeup because when you leave it the way it is, it could run stale.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but saying that as well, the business world did not like this deal because
Mm.
at the announcement of it, the TKO stock dropped by 20 points. So it went from a 103 share down to
Mm-hmm.
85 something. It dropped down. So that was after the announcement of the NBC Universal deal, and I think that was because people know Fox and they think that because Fox is on regular television that
Mm-hmm.
they'll bring more viewers to the program.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people look at it as, well, damn, well, they went back to cable television and and it's not as cable television, most people stream television now. A lot of people don't have cable
Mm-hmm.
programs anymore. Most people stream. So they think possibly the viewership will go down on SmackDown because it's going to cable network television versus regular over the air television. So
But what if they're wrong? What if it goes on NBC? Right now, there's a writer's strike. What more would a company strike gold or a strike with lightning with putting on a product that produces its own original content and
right.
it goes on Channel 4? Because, besides The Voice, what are they really promoting on NBC in the new show with the detective that was on Flash? Like in Law and Order season 3057.
Right.
Like for live TV, what if they move it to NBC and SmackDown comes on Channel 4 so that it still pleases the
By
people
the
who
way,
watch
Channel 4,
SmackDown on,
Channel 5 for New York people. Anybody else
yeah,
watch it?
NBC, excuse me.
Yeah.
It's on NBC.
Mhm.
Channel 4, nigga, we talking to New York people. It's Channel fucking 4, right? But NBC, as
Yeah.
just like it was on Fox or whatever the case may be now, what happens between Fox, they had several channels, just like
Right.
Universal had several channels, right?
Correct.
So when there's something going on NBC, what is it? The Westminster Dog Show, or that's just only USA? Does it come on?
It doesn't come on.
No, it's USA.
Okay. Something comes on USA and it interrupts the program. Can we now watch SmackDown on what? Telemundo? T47? Like, what's another? Where are we going to watch SmackDown? Because when certain sports will come on Fox,
Right.
SmackDown would now come on FS1. And we still get to see SmackDown, us who like to watch our SmackDown, and then, people who watch whatever sports get to watch whatever sports. I think it went down because people were invested in the stock as in terms of like it being under Fox. Go ahead.
If it come on Channel 4, I think SmackDown will come. They'll air SmackDown like on a Saturday. I think they did something like that before.
Well, Saturday night's main event was always held on Saturdays on NBC.
And then they said something they have to give them like 4 special events.
Yeah. But
So
that could
those
also
probably going to be
be.
those type of events on
But that
Saturday.
also could be. I think that like it could be. What you call that? what you call that? Like AJ Styles special, you know, like a behind the scenes for like the build up career for LA Knight. You know, like something like that. Or I think that's included in there. You know, like they do the 24s or WrestleMania behind the scene of WrestleMania.
That's what I was going to go with that one. The WrestleMania behind the scenes, yeah.
Yeah, the behind the scenes of WrestleMania or something like that. So that's definitely dope. What else we got on the Turnbuckle Talk?
Okay, so now speaking about how did I just get a whole extra?
I wanted to add something to that too. Ain't they gonna I seen talk to them gonna lose their Hulu deal.
But I could see that happening. I could definitely see that.
Netflix is also bidding for the WWE. So I think that it's funny because they could expand more on Peacock or they could go to Netflix. I think the more on Peacock would make more sense to have everything all under one umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
But I never really watched on Hulu. So I can't, I don't know.
I watch SmackDown on Hulu.
Like when it goes off the air, right? Like when let's say like yesterday was Raw. Like I don't like going and watch it on Hulu because first of all they don't even show you everything. It's only going to be like 130 minutes. But I believe like
they do a 90-minute Raw. But
they do a 90-minute Raw.
I watch SmackDown on Hulu.
Yeah, because SmackDown's only 2 hours, so that's understandable. That's understandable. But then I feel like maybe can I go on Peacock and watch the SmackDown or the Raw that came on yesterday today?
That's what they'll probably change. That's what I was going to say. That's what they will probably change is that now.
If they do
because
that,
it's like 2 weeks behind, I think. The Raw that they have on there when you click on Raw.
Yeah.
Or a season behind because they have them in season. So it's like a season behind.
I don't like that. Let me get it like that. Or if you want to take it over Hulu, let another streaming service pick it up. Like let's give it to Amazon.
They only gonna go with companies under I'm telling you, the Universal umbrella. That's how it go. They sell it first to say like say if it was AEW, right? He'd be able to sell it to Warner. He'll be able to sell it to TNT. He'll be able to sell it to TBS because they're all under the umbrella, right? So they're only gonna do it under the umbrella of Universal.
Right.
But they're not gonna renew. They're not gonna renew Raw and NXT. They're gonna let that go.
No,
I think they're gonna let that go.
I don't think so. I think that's all a part of the deal.
Yeah, Raw and NXT.
I think it's all a part of the deal.
That's what they paying for.
They want Raw NXT about to expire. Their contract about to expire.
Yeah, but I think that with the new deal, everything was signed all together.
Yeah, no, that was just for SmackDown. That wasn't for Raw NXT.
No, I think everything was signed all at once because you wouldn't negotiate for one thing if we're sitting at the table. We're going to put everything together all in one package. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Because you wouldn't piecemeal it out. Now, where I will agree with you on is I don't think I'm not sure if they would keep Raw on Monday nights because now the sources are stating that I like to use both of your words now. The sources are stating that Raw can move. The Raw can move to another night.
All right, but hold on
about that.
You're trying to tell me they signed all 3 shows. Raw. They sold all 3 shows for $1.6 billion.
I'm googling it, but it's Monday Night Raw. To answer,
it was only SmackDown. It was only SmackDown. They're going to have to go and renegotiate.
Well, what would be the but D? Think about it for a second.
Raw and NXT is going to be a package deal with Raw.
But D, think about it for a second. Raw and NXT was never on the chopping block, right? That was never something that was discussed that they would ever want to give up. So it was just always because I think that they're happy with the NBC Universal is happy with Monday Night Raw because it's producing live content every single week. Just like
this is during a strike and all of that.
Yep. Yeah, even like you said during the strike, they're producing live content. So that within itself, like if I'm the CEO of NBC Universal, I would never want to let that go, because think of it like this: the rest of your shows on your channel is all written and scripted. Now we know
Okay.
WWE is scripted. One sec, I'm sorry,
I'm only interrupting because I'm going to answer the question. The person who's actually right after I'm doing the research is Sour Diesel. It is only the SmackDown New Deal. And then at the end of 2024, they will have to come up to new agreement terms for the flagship show Raw and NXT.
I think
that's what's coming next. It's not that it's not on the table or it's not happening. It's just that's what they saying is next.
Well, here's the thing. I think that was trust me, Ari Emanuel, the CEO of Endeavor and TKO, and also NBC Universal. I think that it's already in the works to be discussed, because as a business standpoint, you're not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater. You're going to have to sit there and say, I'm going to have everything already out there on the table, because let's think of the logic for a second, right? You got SmackDown, and you're going to let somebody like, let's say, I don't know who owns A&E, right? But let's say somebody from A&E comes in and says, I want Monday Night Raw.
Isn't that the History Channel? What's that shit? History? So that might be Warner Brothers.
Okay.
No, that's the channel wherever they do the documentaries on with WWE.
Correct. Mm-hmm. Correct. So what if they say, okay, you know what? We're gonna buy Monday Night Raw for $2 billion. I'm just throw out a number. I don't know how much Monday Night Raw is worth, but let's just say we're gonna do that. Now it kind of defeats the purpose, because your mainstay on Monday nights was WWE Monday Night Raw, and that's a constant product coming out every Monday. You don't have to think about it. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, like you can't take the Chrisleys no more. They're in prison. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, you can't keep running reruns of Walker, Texas Ranger and the show Monk. So the
Disney owns A&E.
Okay. So then you have to sit there and say, okay, we're going to negotiate everything. I'm pretty sure they already have a tentative deal and they're waiting for it to expire. So then they'll re-sign, because it don't make sense in the middle of the contract to sit down and then cancel that and say, let's do this. Let's let this one expire, because also you want to know where your numbers are going to be at the end of the term, right? Because you want to know
what the projection.
Exactly. You want to know what all that's going to be at the end of the term, because here's the thing. The WWE, like we keep saying, is a constant live product, right?
Yeah.
So, but what these networks are looking at is the television views. Mm-hmm. That's what they're ultimately negotiating off. If you could get to at least a 3, a 3 point something, or a 2, or the high 2s, that you're doing very well. It's not like, and I'm not trying to throw AEW under the bus when I say this line, but
it's about ratings.
Huh? It's about ratings, yeah. Okay. So AEW, the most they ever do is a 1 point something.
Yes.
Right? That's the most they ever do. Now, granted, I think that Warner Brothers is happy that they're producing that much, right? Mm-hmm. I think they're happy that they're producing that much, because it's bringing a constant product. A constant
same reason,
people, coming every week. So again, if we're going to negotiate a contract, I'm not going to sit there and piecemeal it out, right? Because we know that SmackDown, Fox didn't want to renew, but as a matter of fact, let's not say that. Fox would renew, but for a lesser amount. But the budget of what it costs to put on a weekly television show, it costs a lot of money. So, and the thing is that, now, again, you got to go with who's the highest bidder, who makes the most sense for you, who's the one that's actually bringing the most to the table for you. I think NBC Universal does make sense on that level, because, again, the Peacock deal, right? The Peacock deal within itself is a great deal. It is, because here's the thing. You know what the Peacock deal for the WWE? They got them that they don't have to use the network anymore.
Yeah,
that
was costing them a lot of money.
Exactly, it was a nightmare to do the network. It was an absolute nightmare. It was so much money. It costs and remember now, it takes a lot of people to do the network. Mm-hmm. And the thing was that the WWE never wanted, to have it on that level, because it's a lot of work. Because just like this, you remember when the network dropped, only people in the United States was able to get the network.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And it took time for it to get to, Europe,
Internationally.
internationally. Correct. Sorry, thank you for that. To get internationally, it took time for that. So guess what? What did Peacock do? Peacock made it that that now all we got to do is push a button, boom, we have content, and I think that that's a deal that they'll probably have forever.
I agree. I would have to agree. That's why I said it's going under all of the Universal, because Peacock is under Universal. So that's why I feel like it's all going under the same umbrella, and that's how they're gonna do all. It makes more sense because you also don't want another company or another brand fucking with your intellectual property. You know what I mean? So that's good. What else you had on there?
Okay, so we got to AEW. It's soon to close the deal with HBO Max.
Yes.
For the pay-per-views to go there. And let me tell you something. If once they do that, I think this is going to boost AEW.
It will.
At least in terms of their live events. I mean, their pay-per-views. Because we can't use the word pay-per-view no more. That'll be a thing in the past. But it'll be, I think it'll make more sense because here's the thing. It will be easier for them to build their storylines because once they, Tony Khan was trying to do quarterly pay-per-views, right? And quarterly pay-per-views is good when the stories are actually working. When the story is working, and that's the crescendo to the story. That's the crescendo to the story. Then at the same time, that makes sense.
Right.
But now, Warner Brothers is like, no, friend. We need this every month.
But I feel like they're saying that because they know that the deal is about to be on the table to be on Max, and then now there's a crescendo that happens every 4 weeks. It'll force Tony Khan to have to creatively write both shows that are on TNT and TBS, which now leads into the pay-per-view because we know now that this is what works, right? Because DE does it, Impact does it. When Ring of Honor was by itself, they were doing it. Like, it makes sense. Your TV shows each week are supposed to tell the story that leads into the premium live event, and each premium live event is supposed to lead up into the big 2-night kahuna, which is WrestleMania. Now,
correct.
So
correct.
Go ahead.
Okay. Perfectly said. And also the day of people wanting to spend $49.99, $59.99 is not though. Them days is gone. Like no one wants to spend that type of money. So if I was Tony Khan, and I have Tony Khan's money, and I have Tony Khan's connections, I would have pushed for this deal like within the first year of us doing doing AEW, because if we want to compete with the WWE, because ultimately they say they don't want to compete, we know that's bullshit. But if we know that if we compete with the WWE, we need to know that every month we have a product, and they'll force you to actually put on better storylines, because I think that's what's missing in AEW is the good storylines.
It is
because if you do the good storylines, you'll get more people engaged in the product. See, the thing about it is that where WWE does very well is but when it was just the E, and when it was just the E, we used to criticize the way they did their booking, the way that people was presented, things of that nature. Now, we look at AEW and we understand what it is to do bad booking, right? We always thought the E was doing bad booking, but now we see what bad booking is.
Both of them niggas did some bad booking.
Yeah, they did.
We know that. We know that.
But the E picked up. AEW is still trying to figure out how to get their footing. If they actually had, because to me, I like watching AEW. I'm not gonna lie, I like watching AEW. I was the original AEW guy of the three. I enjoy watching AEW. I watch them. I don't watch when it's live. I watch on the DVR so I can see the show. I can fast forward through stuff. But I'm realizing I'm hitting that fast forward button a lot. Okay, a lot, and that is not good. The show presents boring. I get what they're trying to do, but I'm usually fast forwarding to the main event. I'm usually like, I can deal without the backstage foolishness. I could deal without the Michigas matches. I usually fast forward to the end because it is boring. It does not welcome you in. Like when the show starts or whatever, I'm like, even they're, and I know that Tony Khan is mentioning the new set coming and things like that. But even the set is not. It's like and the pyro and all that stuff. It's not exciting, right? It's not like the same excitement you get watching Monday Night Raw or on SmackDown, where you're like, damn, okay, let me sit in my fucking chair and see what's happening here. No, it's like watching WCW Saturday Night, and then you got the same host.
I've been
Tony
said that
Schiavone.
shit.
So that's what you're getting. I mean, I don't mean to bury them. I'm just talking facts. Like, if you want to separate your product from the E, then the only way to do it is you got to sit there. You got to, light a fire under the company's ass and get out there and make it work.
It's the lighting. Like you ever see
the lighting.
You ever see the stage area? It just be so dark. It looks crazy. And then what they be trying to do is now they be trying to hide the seatings. They're trying to show you that
So they're
trying to hide the
like a
empty
house
seats.
show.
So they trying to make it dark. Like, bruh, it is what it is. Just accept it.
Let me tell you, and it's not like they can't
better
do
production.
it. It's not like
Get
they
better
can't do it.
production. They can, but the cost
They
thing.
do it with Collision. If you watch Collision is well lit.
Yeah.
I think I'm a champion Collision because I like Collision.
But at the same time, too, I think they just wanted to make it like, two separate shows, too.
And I
two
like
different,
that. I like that.
two different
That
shows.
I like.
So I could see that. But, and then also, too, the lighting and the coloring of the logos
It
are two
pops.
different, you know what I mean? So the logo for Collision, it calls for that type of brightness and that lighting. So I can see why they do it like that. As to where Dynamite is dark and it's, I guess the shit already went off, already blew up. So you know what I mean? Like,
and also
boom.
the show opens up like you're already live. Like the show already started. It don't
because that's the truth. That's the truth.
Like,
that's what happens.
That's how the show like it already started already. Like
you remember
blood on the mat.
Exactly. You remember y'all remember how fucking WCW used to come on. WCW used to come on just like that. Like it would just come on like straight on to like, okay, in real life here in West Palm
Atlanta,
Beach,
Georgia.
Florida. West Beach, you know what I mean? And then it was like, what the fuck?
That was
the Nitro girls already up there dancing. And
remember that was when they rebranded for Nitro. Do you remember when they first started the show? The show had an opening. You remember?
With you like the match and it go through the building.
Exactly. Yeah. And then you hear.
And then it blows up.
Like so, and then, but that was before the show rebranded. When it rebranded and they did they turned the logo into a star, and I don't know what the hell was going on at that point. It just opened up. Remember when the show used to open up, and then after it'll be like somebody. It felt like Macho Man was getting run down in a car every week before the show started. But somebody secretly hit Macho Man this week. But or they threw Rey Mysterio into the TV truck or something like that to start the show off. And but then after they would be like, what is going on? And then after, boom, it goes into the intro. And then after, when the show comes on the air, the pyro's shooting, and then they copied where WCW copied the WWE was. Remember the E? They don't do it no more. But the E used to raise the level of the audience sound. So JR was talking, over the audience. So he had to stretch his voice to make you see, like make you feel like you're in watching the show, right? And that's what WCW started doing. Then Tony Schiavone had to be, doing the same exact thing. That's how you present wrestling. And that's if I was Tony Khan, I'd have done the show just like that.
I mean, he's just learning the audio, but he's just learning how to do the sound thing with the audience. So maybe that'll be a part of the new era. Because when I was watching Dynamite and Rampage, maybe because they was in a stadium, I heard that they was playing with the sound a little bit, turning it up a little bit more. I think when Don Callis was talking, because I was gonna ask you who y'all think get the loudest boos, Dominic Mysterio or Don Callis, but I don't think that's even a question because clearly WWE has more people in the arena than AEW, so clearly Dominic Mysterio's boos are louder. But I think he's just learning that in terms of like production too. Because who directs it? Is he directing too?
He is, I think he is, but no. He hired the guy for the WWE. I can't remember the guy's name for the WWE. The stage director. He hired
Kevin
them.
Bacon Jr.
What's his name?
He said Kevin Bacon Jr.
Yeah. No, he hired one of the guys from WWE to
I was gonna say that when I was live and they was like setting up the stuff, I was like, this looks very WWE, man. Like they actually run and like they fix the things on the rope and stuff. But I'm still talking about like in terms of directing, like how Kevin Dunn directs, Raw, SmackDown, PLEs.
We can just go right to Google and we can do that right now.
Who does that? Because we need to know who does that because
AEW
that's the
producer?
person that needs to be released next. When you ask if AEW is releasing people, release that motherfucker.
But here's the thing: you think Tony, if even that is the case, you think Tony is allowing this person to do their job? He's probably in the back.
Come on, with stuff like gripping and lighting and the like. I feel like AEW when they had the two the cones or whatever those was.
Yeah.
They used to use an overhead camera shot that made it feel like, oh shit, something is about to happen to get you a little bit more excited for the product. Now with the new set, I feel like that dynamic or element isn't there anymore. I don't know if it's because of how the stage is set up. And their pyro absolutely fucking sucks.
It sucks. It sucks. It's like some stuff you could buy at Walmart. Like I just don't understand why they have this. Like, there's Tony, you got more than enough money to hire a professional pyrotechnics company that could come in and do this every week.
I agree. I totally agree.
You have more than enough money to do that. And
I'm a pyro guy. Like
I'm a pyro guy too.
If he needs to call Macy's and because they do the damn thing, then call Macy's and figure out who does their pyros to help come do this pyro in a new era. Because now that y'all mentioned there's gonna be a new era, I'm looking forward to seeing what's in this.
And for the love of God, Tony, stop booking the big arenas. Go to the smaller stuff. Go to
auditoriums.
NJ Pack. Yes, go to NJ Pack. Go to the
Manhattan
Shrine,
NJ Pack, Prudential maybe. Or let that be a PLEs, Prudential Center.
They need to do what we said when we had the idea for WWE NXT. Start booking the little auditoriums, the theaters, when you can have that, because we already knew. See, what the thing is with AEW, what they're doing was when WWE told them that they bet that they can't even sell out a 10,000 seat arena. So once they proved that point, it was like, you know what, we can do that, and now we want to keep doing that. No, you don't need to keep doing it.
No.
Do your theaters, do your auditoriums. Yeah, do your theaters, do your auditoriums, and then in that time, over the years, over the months, whatever, your shit will grow.
Exactly.
Or you can do that. You can do your 20,000 seat arenas when you do your pay-per-view. Just do it like that. They're doing
money,
wasting too much money, too much time.
And also, another thing too, and this goes back to my party promoter days.
Mm-hmm.
AEW doesn't have a strong ground game.
Mm-hmm.
So they need to be more people out in these cities promoting that AEW is coming to the town, because I think that's a big problem. Because AEW hasn't been around long enough as the WWE, they don't have the same notoriety if they're going to a Tuscaloosa.
Why the fuck would they be in Tuscaloosa?
well, the WWE run those cities.
I know.
Yeah. So, Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Oh yeah, they love the Albuquerque.
Exactly. So, they don't have that same type of name that when the when you're passing the billboard and it says WWE Monday Night Raw, October the whatever, that people like get your tickets now. They don't have that. So I think that they need to focus on the ground game, and I think that would be much better for them because that will put asses in the seats. I truly believe that. I just think at this point AEW is faltering when it comes to the ground game.
Right.
Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right about that. They need more. They gotta be like how Def Jam was back in the day when they was promoting their artists. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you feel me? Like, it
Yeah.
was DMX stickers all over the damn place, and I'm like, what is a DMX?
I agree.
You know what I mean?
I
Like,
agree. Also,
that's how they have to do it.
do local television, right? Do the local television. Go out to the local cities. Go have Adam Cole. Do the weather. Like,
Hangman, Adam Page.
yeah,
Like,
something like go to the local radio stations, promote. Like, they should have 2-3 weeks in advance of their event. They need to have somebody, somebody that's out there, promoting the event, the top star. Have MJF show up to something.
The baseball game, the basketball
Exactly.
game.
Exactly.
You just had fucking Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston doing the announcement for the elimination shit, like elimination chamber shit. Like WWE have had that in the bag, and I think that AEW don't like follow it. They don't promote it. Like, they're like, you come out with an album and you don't promote the album, right? And then be talking about, oh, it ain't do good. They capital markets at this point.
I'll do a place like AEW, right? Where people don't know most of this talent. So how do AEW go about being like, you know what I mean, like getting their talent on like a Hot 97, like how you'll see Bianca Belair, Montez Ford.
Well, I think Isaiah Scott was there.
But WWE create superstars, and those and what superstar means, that means something really significant. You know what I mean? That's something significant. You AEW guys, they are pro wrestlers, and there's nothing wrong with being a pro wrestler.
Right.
But nobody's gonna go and look for no damn pro wrestler to be like. You gonna say they go a WWE superstar? That's a wrestler.
But
you're not gonna go for like they go John Moxley, the pro wrestler.
So here's what I would have done. Right, this is what I would have done if I was Tony Khan. The WWE primarily, even though they go across the United States, primarily they're a northeast down to the northeast corridor down to the Midwest. They do West Coast stuff, as well. However, if I was Tony Khan, I would have been on the West Coast building. Okay, I'd have been doing those towns. I would not cross-sec with a WWE city until I was well into having my foothold on the West. I would have done that. I would have been sending my talent out to the radio stations, to the local high school,
KTLA, all of that.
Exact, all that stuff. I would from all the way from Oregon down to New Mexico,
Washington.
Exactly. I would have.
You got Darby Allin and all of them from Washington, and you don't have them up there being at the radio station.
Your EVPs is from fucking Rancho Cucamonga.
Exactly.
Are they really?
That's what I've been doing because here's the thing: you want to be successful, you got to be different. You cannot be. I don't want to do what the WWE do. I want to. I want us to be two separate products and let the audience judge who's better. I don't care who's better because I'm making my own money, but let the audience judge who's better. Like, that's what all that matters. Because by the time you were coming to do New York, because New York City is a WWE city. That's just what it is. Right? Madison Square Garden, the Barclays Center, UBS, Nassau Coliseum.
Tri-state period.
This is tri-state period, right?
West Newbury, Connecticut.
Exactly. All those places. Hartford, Connecticut is a big WWE city. So all those places is where I I wouldn't even touch those until I'm selling out, the Staples Center. I'm selling out the Nokia,
The
the Nokia,
forum.
yeah, the Forum, all that places, right? That's what I would do, because by the time WWE comes to the West Coast, they'll feel the difference.
Mm-hmm.
They'll see that I got this shit on lock. So when I come to the East Coast, my buzz is already built. When I come to the East Coast, I could sell out Nassau Coliseum. I could sell out Madison Square Garden, because people are like, no, 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 no. I want these people. I want to meet these people. I want to meet the talent. And I think that's where Tony Khan went wrong. And I don't blame him, because I blame him, but I don't. I blame him because he did not ask people questions, right? He should have went and said, guys, people that been in the wrestling business, what do you guys think I should do? But I don't blame him, because he's very naive. So he doesn't know the business. He's still technically a brand new business owner. Even though he's been doing it 5 years, he's still technically a brand new business owner. So, but if that was me, I would stop going to the Allstate Arena. That would be the first thing I take off the fucking list. Is the goddamn Allstate Arena. I would take that off the list, not going back. Okay, we're not going back to the Allstate Arena till we make amends. 2 years later, maybe that's what I would go back.
I think
To add to that, you know what I would have did? They do it a lot when they go to Britt Baker City. Is I would have took over the colleges, because then that is your demographic that you're going after. That that likes that John Moxley style, that professional wrestling. That I'm anti the world, anti-establishment. I would have took over like the colleges and the big. That's what I would have did if I was AEW. That was smart. Don't call us.
It makes the most sense. Hey, what you think?
I think Tony Khan probably just had too much people in his ear at the time. And once again, like I said, they just wanted to prove something to WWE.
I don't know
But
why.
I feel like y'all, they should have came out, set up shop to a place where people's gonna really notice you at more. You keep getting noticed, and then you start moving around. I think they want to stay in one specific place because they want to be seen to known as like
Local talent
or developmental. If you get what I'm trying to go with it,
Right.
I mean, they wanted to make a name for themselves. They wanted to be AEW, the indie touring league. You know what I mean? We want to prove to them that we can sell out a 10,000 seat arena or more. We can sell out.
But you ain't selling out. It's not selling out.
You're not. But I mean, for their first show, the first All In show, when they did sell over 10,000 seats, that was selling out for them because that wasn't even a set goal for them. It was
the mistake was them losing Cody Rhodes, who had the business acumen from watching Dusty Rhodes.
His father.
Like he did not watch. Like once they lost Cody Rhodes, and the whole how to move business wise went into the hands of Mo and Joe Buck and Oodles and Noodles, and that is what fucked everything up. Like that's the blatant, that's the obvious, clearly reason. And then for Tony Khan to have to depend on QT Marshall when you got fucking Paul White, Mark Henry, the reason we even have a Jade fucking Cargill and a fucking Bianca Belair. Are you shitting me or are you kidding me?
I thought Mark Henry was responsible for Bianca Belair
and Jade Cargill. He found both of them bitches.
Females, some ladies, those talents, yes.
If I call niggas niggas, I call them bitches too. Don't try to be whole tapping righteous on one thing and not another after you just Hogan was fucking black. Anyway, moving right along.
Also, to like to add on, I mean, if you really look at it, it was totally unfair for Kenny Omega to win the AEW World Heavyweight Championship and a Chris Jericho and not Cody Rhodes. I mean, come on. They're playing with him across all platforms of all these wrestling promotions. They're not trying to let my boy get a world title. So
I think I think the audience got tired of Cody. To be honest with you,
They did.
At AEW.
Mm-hmm. The Homelander shit wasn't working for them. It works over here because it's a breath of fresh air and is anti what has been going on in the WWE, which is, the bloodline Roman Reigns thing.
by the way, I was gonna say I think Jey Uso's taking the face spot, the top face spot at
On Raw.
Mm-hmm. That's because their top face is going to SmackDown.
Oh, see, thank you. Which is a lead way to see where this is the Drew is becoming frustrated and he's gonna become heel. And he's really gonna turn more heel now because this is already a plan because this is gonna be another part of the chapters in Cody's story. Drew McIntyre is gonna be like a roadblock for Cody getting to the title. Because if you've seen
I seen that
on
come up.
Raw, you've seen that's going to brew into Drew not helping Jay
Jey
after
Uso.
the match, but then Cody ran down and saved him. And you know what that reminded me of? That reminded me of that Raw when somebody was I forgot who was getting jumped. CM Punk didn't help them, and The Rock ran out and he bumped CM Punk. He and he came in and took care of business, and he was about to hit them with the people's elbow. Then CM Punk and hit him with the clothesline. That was so perfect. That was epic. I love that. But anyway, what I'm saying is that's about to happen with Drew and Cody. That's about to be a thing.
Is he getting rid of the stupid sword?
He's gonna get rid of it. He's gonna turn heel. This is gonna be his heel. This is gonna be his heel part.
We'll hit someone with it. Like, maybe we'll use it to hit someone with it. All right.
Oh, and maybe that's how you probably get on his psycho Scottish shit again. Like Drew, you out here trying to kill people with swords. You acting like a lunatic. What are you, a psycho?
Oh.
Yeah.
For those of you listening, he's imitating what's happening. What's going to happen?
Right. maybe I am a little psycho. Maybe I am the Scottish psycho.
And I'd be a fan all over again. Just from that, I would be a fan all over again. Because I do not like this one right now.
And that's all I got with the turntable.
Get on his Sean Connery. That's what they got him. They got my boy on his Sean Connery. He need to come on now.
So shouts out to Mashout for that Turnbuckle Talk. Y'all both came with some real heat. The smoking section was on fire. Turnbuckle Talk. We talked that talk. It was wonderful. We said all that now. Who is y'all wrestler of the week?
All right. Okay. My wrestler of the week is Jey fucking Uso, man.
Okay.
That's my guy, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's my guy. I've been really like just saying, like, you know what? I'm feeling this guy again. So yeah, Jey Uso is my guy for this week.
Chad Gable.
Okay. I think mine this week is fucking. I was watching Kofi Kingston. It's Kofi Kingston.
Okay.
But that match between him and Ivar was crazy on Raw. Like they got very fucking crazy in-ring chemistry. They like that match for me. I was like, yo, Kofi Kingston, like he was getting his ass whipped and everything. How he sell and how he move on a consecutive level, it definitely was Kofi Kingston for me this week. I also sidebar, I love them making us think that it ain't working out with the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, that was a good angle.
I love that angle. I love that angle. Good.
Oh, also somewhere in the social media world, I've seen a clip of Karrion Kross looking at his next victim. And I like it because it was
who he was looking at.
Hold on, and I like how they do it now because it's tying in because it came from I believe it came from his social media.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if y'all been seeing it lately. Like he'll be watching, like he'll be in the back somewhere, or he'll be looking at his prophecies. Like he'll be looking at AJ Styles watching, having the match, and something goes wrong, and he'll just look, smiles, and get up from finish watching. But on this particular one, he was looking in the ring. He was looking at John Cena.
Mm.
Now
Mm.
that could be a good program. I could see that happening.
And Cena would have to put so they have to get it has to be a story in
Oh,
it. And he has to put Karrion Kross over, right? Because this can't have Cena winning over Karrion Kross, because then that would be more like a Berry.
oh yeah, but who knows? Who knows? I can actually see that probably actually about to happen. They probably like some of the young talent of the guys that he did buried probably started like a stable with Karrion Kross or something to make sure that doesn't happen. Karrion gets the win, and that's how they start a stable. I guess I don't know.
Have any of y'all, before we get out of here, have any of y'all watched Heels?
No, I haven't seen that.
The show Heels, they're in season 2. It's a really good show. When y'all get a chance, take a look at it and what, because I feel like they draw from,
They're on season two.
yeah, they're on
Look at that.
season yeah, they're on season 2.
They only on season two.
Yeah, this Heels is only on
You
season 2. Yes.
By the way,
only season
anybody?
two. I could have sworn they've been on for more seasons than that.
No,
By the
it's
way, has
season
anybody watched uh the wrestler on
on Netflix. I
Netflix?
was gonna ask about that next too. Yeah, I was going down. But yeah, I definitely with
No.
Al Snow. I definitely
Yeah,
do. Yes,
pretty interesting.
yes.
Interesting show.
I,
Oh,
de- I
that's the documentary they do on like on OVW or something like that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's your show.
It's a really good. Yep. Between that and like I like Hills because it's a dramatic thing. They're of course in a hick town, and these two brothers
Hey,
basically inherit their wrestling company from their father, who dies imminently because he commits suicide and shoots himself. And this season, we starting to see a little bit more backstory because the father, who was, you see, he made all these different relationships in it, and people are loyal to him because he was good to some, bad to others, but they were still loyal to DWL wrestling. And in this season, they show that he actually had a meeting with Eric Bischoff and Ted Turner and was going to be a part of WCW. But when Ted Turner started giving him the runarounds, he thought that he was trying to play him. So he instead told Ted Turner, because he has a lot of pride, to, take his nitro and put the bomb up his ass and blow up his ass and, go do something with it. So I think it's definitely a dope show. Y'all get a chance to look at that with the Hills
you
fellas.
said Hills.
Yeah, Hills.
Okay.
It's good because you got to watch it from season 1 to understand, because the people who are heels in the wrestling are like nice and have things going on, and then the ones who are the faces are the ones who are the actual heels in real life, and it just.
Okay, I get it. It's
And
vice
then
versa.
now they introduced the brother who was in the first season. They gave him a new character. His character is a very Sting, Bray Wyatt, Undertaker, mysterious character, and they gave him a new leash on wrestling. It's dope. I think this season is really, really dope. Me and my other brother, who we do production with, that's our show. We be on the phone talking about his heels. He was like, they ain't coming back.
I want to check that out. You know who I would like to see do something? I would like to see Freddie Prinze Jr. do something.
Oh yeah,
With,
because
like,
he's a good writer.
What
Yeah,
would you want to
he's
see?
definitely a good writer. They what's his name? Damian Sandow. He's on that on Heels.
oh,
He
for
is
real?
a part of, because they have another wrestling federation, which they have a little bit more money, but they fight and they use like extreme rules tactics. So that's basically hey, where the Mashout go? Oh, he's back.
He's brain
Oh,
free.
Oh, okay. So that's basic. It's a good show, dope show, and I think y'all would like it. Wrestling fans out there, if you haven't got a chance to look at it, take a look at it. I think it comes on Stars. Yeah, I think it comes on Stars. They ain't cut us no check, so I ain't gonna be promoting them like that. Any final words, fellas?
Man, enjoy your week. Enjoy life, man. because life is really short. Try to just wake up every day and just hope that your today is better than your yesterday. And,
Absolutely.
That's so
and,
true. Oh,
and
that's
just hope that you see it tomorrow. That's it, man.
mm-hmm.
All right. My final thought is keep watching, keep supporting, keep liking, watching the videos. We're getting a great feedback from everybody, and we appreciate everybody that tune in each and every week
Mm-hmm.
to the Three Amigos podcast show. Random thoughts, take it away.
My final and last words is a random thought, and it is the simple and the free things broaden your horizons and they stretch miles. They can also start to set a blaze, and they also can blaze trails. So just look at the little things and appreciate the little things. Stop looking at the big things. Sometimes it's just the little things. That's the Random Thoughts I have. Random Thoughts randomly. This is the Three Amigos podcast show. Like Mashout said, like, subscribe, share, comment, continue to give us your feedback. Thank y'all for another gracious week. Tune in to great entertainment, wrestling, sports entertainment, whatever the F you want to refer to it as. But just love it. Thank y'all for another great episode. Y'all have a great week.